What's up guys, it's Merkshot here and welcome to a brand new video. Today I want to talk about my Modern Warfare wishlist post-reveal. I know a lot of stuff has already been confirmed, but there's still some things I would like to see in this game that I thought I could share with you guys. Who knows, maybe Infinity Ward will watch this video and take note. But anyway, Modern Warfare is off to a great start, like I said in my previous video with my first impressions. I think this game has huge potential. It could be the Call of Duty to restore the community as a whole and just really be a game that the whole community can pretty much agree is a good game. We haven't had that in years. You know, so far everyone likes what they see. However, there's always more that could be added, and that's pretty much always the case with any game, and that's where today's video comes in. So yeah, let's take a look at my wish list and what's still currently on the wish list that hasn't been confirmed or mentioned yet. And this is some pretty important stuff that I thought would be important for Modern Warfare to have if it wants to have a complete experience. Ever since the beginning of Call of Duty, there's always been one thing that I've noticed, and it's something so simple it probably gets overlooked time after time, but it's a pretty important feature. And that feature is we need to have a emoji of some sort or an icon to let us know what kind of win streak that we're on. Most games tend to have that, and Call of Duty has kind of lacked it, and no one's really talking about it, and so I thought I would mention it in here because there's so many times where I'm on a win streak with my clan and we lose count because we are winning so many games and we're on a roll. We're having a good time and we just don't know what kind of win streak we're on. We're just guessing. There should be no guesswork. There should definitely be some sort of way that I can check, at the very least for me. But I think it would be cool if it could be displayed to the whole lobby. You know, have like a little flame emoji with the number of wins that you have currently in a row. Have that like kind of beside your clan tag or something like that, just somewhere where the whole lobby can see it and can be put on notice that you're on a win streak. And you know, I think it would just add that little competitive nature into pubs. Now one could argue there's enough competitive and sweatiness in present day Call of Duties, but I think this would be just fun for clans and people who party up, because you know, people tend to think that that doesn't happen anymore. There's so many people squadding up in Call of Duties nowadays, even with Black Ops 4. That's pretty much the only way to play Black Ops 4 is you have to party up to combat all the parties that are being played. So I mean, if you're playing solo dolo, congrats to you, props to you, because I don't know how you do it. So anyway, having a win streak would be really cool, and I think, you know, maybe you could even have some rewards, like have something like the first 5 wins, like once you get to a 5 win streak, maybe have like an XP boost, and then have like, if you have tiers like you had Black Ops 4, have like a tier boost or something, or get exclusive camos, you know, have exclusive camo challenges if you win so many games in a row, and kind of update those camos every month or two to just kind of, you know, if you go on another win streak later on in the game's life cycle, you can get a new camo, something. Be creative. That's all I ask for. Is I want creativity, and it starts with a win streak feature. Another thing I would really like to see return is the paint shop from World War II. It was very, you know, World War II's was very primitive. Like, it really wasn't much to the feature. It was very lackluster. There was no creativity, very simplistic. No matter how many hours you spent on that camo, someone who spent 30 seconds would look the same, pretty much. There needs to be a distinguishing factor. Like if I spend an hour making a paint job for a certain weapon, it needs to actually like look the part. I don't want to have someone, like I said, who spent 30 seconds have something that can kind of compete with the camo I just created. It needs to be more detail, it needs to be more sophisticated. Now I know that kind of it's a fine line, because Infinity Ward won't want to create something that's too good, because then you won't have that in-game challenge, you know, the weapon challenges that you go for, camo challenges, you won't have to go for them. And also camos are going to be locked behind supply drops. We already know this. So if it takes away the value of supply drop camos, they're not going to want to do it. I'm not asking for anything too flashy. I'm just asking for a lot more design patterns, and then, you know, you can kind of do what you will. Kind of like with the emblems. You know, at first they just gave you a bunch of random shapes, and I'm sure they didn't ever envision people getting that crafty with them. But then you look at nowadays, you see that the emblems are just, they look like portraits pretty much. So if you could do the same thing with the paint job, that would be really cool, and it would add to the gun customization that we already have. You know, we have the gunsmith feature. We can take it a step further with the paint shop. Next up on the list, we have prestigious, or shall I say a desire for a good prestige system. Over Over the years in Call of Duty, prestiging has lost its wow factor. There could be many reasons as to why that's happening. It could just be due to the test of time. Call of Duty's not as popular as it once was, but I think there's other compounding factors, such as there's no true benefit for prestiging, the outrageous levels of master prestige, and the prestige emblems have mostly looked blasé. There needs to be something to grind for in this game. I can't stress that enough. There needs to be constantly something to earn and something to look forward to, because that is the problem with current Call of Duties as a whole, not just with prestiging, but there's just nothing to look forward to. And if we can have something, it doesn't matter what it is, but if we can have just something to constantly look forward to, have a reason to log in to Modern Warfare, months down the line, because I'm not worried the first few months. That's the honeymoon phase. I want 6 months in to still be looking forward to hopping on playing Modern Warfare as I did day one. That's the goal, and if they can create that, that would be really cool. But back to the prestiges. If they could have some cool exclusive camos or cool outfits for prestiging once you get master prestige, kind of like what World War II did towards the end of its life cycle. If you went to I can't remember how many prestiges they had, but once you started going into the higher levels of master prestige, like every 100 levels, I think you got a certain camo, a different color of the same camo. And I think that would be really cool if you could have that for every prestige 1 through 10. Ideally 10 prestiges. Let's not go for 20 or anything like that like they had in Modern Warfare 3. Let's just keep it simple. And then once you get to master prestige, for the love of God, can we just please get master prestige and then it just level, the max level be like the final level, like level 55. I don't want to have to go 1,000 levels. That's crazy. No one ever, I think, thinks that's worth it. It's always a waste of time, and the people who go for it really don't look too good. It actually looks more of a blemish than something to be proud of, because if you have 1,000 levels of master prestige, we already know you don't see the sun. I just think it's a slam against yourself if you get to 1,000 levels. It's almost like disrespecting yourself. So I think they should just do away with that. Once you see a prestige master, you just already know they play the game a lot. You don't need to know exactly how much. 1,000 levels gives way too much information, and it just looks a little sloppy. It takes away from the master prestige emblem. I don't want to see all that. Just let's go back to simplicity with the emblems. Far as once you get to master prestige, just do away with the extended levels, but have the emblems actually look good. I think that's also almost as important as anything. You got to have the emblems look fire. If you don't have them looking good, no one's prestiging anyway. So encourage people to prestige, because the more people prestige, the more player retention you have in this game. So if they have something constantly to grind for, like I said earlier, they're going to keep logging back in to play your game. And yeah, it's something that I think Modern Warfare has to get right. Moving right along, I would love to see some sort of Clan Wars feature get implemented into Modern Warfare. The last time we actually had any clan integration was back in Ghost, if I recall correctly. For those of you who don't remember Ghost or never played the game, Clan Wars was essentially a way to have a clan or a team that you could level up by just simply playing pubs and completing team challenges. You would get rewards for having done clan activities to show off to the rest of the world, like exclusive camos or outfits and calling cards. You'll see that that's a constant theme in this video. Camos, outfits, and calling cards are something that people always love. As long as they're cool looking, people love to show those things off, and so they're great rewards. Maybe even incorporate a clan versus clan playlist to promote this. That would be so fun. The difference between something like this playlist and something like League Play or something is this doesn't have that esport nonsense. I don't want no esport rule set. I just want general pub rules, and basically just go at that. 2 clans facing each other on general multiplayer, basic rules of engagement. That's all we want. I think that would be pretty cool to see who has the best clan. Maybe have a leaderboard for who has the best clan. It's not taking it seriously as, esports and stuff like that, because esports gets way too crazy. This just seems like a relatively simple way to keep player engagement high, because people love to play with teams and clans, and I know I sure do. Alright, one last thing before the video ends, and I never would have thought I'd be asking for this, but here we are. For crying out loud, Infinity Ward, bring back the damn minimap. You know I had to put it on my list. You know how vocal I am about this. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I've kind of mentioned this so many times. This is something that I just don't know why they ever took out in the first place. I'm going to spare you guys from the rant, but just know that I think it's going to be back in the game. I just don't see this flying and going over well with the community. After the beta, I would be shocked if they didn't change it back to having the mini-map full-time, because it's just so freaking useful, and I feel like it was just taken out on a whim so there could just be changed for the sake of it. So that's going to wrap up my wish list for Modern Warfare. I'm sure more things could have been added, and I'll remember later. I'm like, dang, why didn't I add this? But for the most part, this is a pretty complete list. This is the main stuff that I wanted to see implemented in this year's Call of Duty, and even if they just do one of the things that I've mentioned in today's video, I'll be ecstatic, because this game's already great. Like, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited in a while. Originally, I had so many more things. Like, I wanted to see perk specialist. I wanted to see kill streaks that chain together. I wanted to see good kill streaks. Like, all that has come to fruition, so it's really exciting to think that maybe some more stuff on my wish list could actually see the light and, you know, be implemented into the game. That'd be really cool to see. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs the video up. It helps me out tremendously, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.